Testy. We last left Thegum at fixing therotation and moving Tharos. It's been some time and a lot needs to be done. In this episode, we are going to create a level builder, explain how it works, test it. First of all, what is a level builder and how does it work? The game, Testy, will have levels made from tiles. But what are tiles? Tiles are blocks of the level. Each level has many of these blocks. Take a look at the old Testy engine. Over here, you can see colored scare blocks. These blocks are the tiles we are going to create. They all have their data or information. Each tile has information about their position, whether it can collide with the player, texture, that kind of stuff. The level builder will be made from two parts: a file with the data and some code that will turn the data into tiles. It's time to explain what is going on with the level builder. As said earlier, the builder is two parts: the file and the code. The file will have all data of the level. It will have general information of the level, where every tile is supposed to go and how it looks. The type of file I have picked is a CSV file, which means comma-separated values file. It's a type of file that maps the values or data as a grid. The engine sees this data as this, a grid of values. We will get back to that later. The code is a bit harder to understand. The code is this hot mess. Let's break it down to understand it. It sees the grid with coordinate points for each value. First there is a loop. This loop does the code below a number of times. Said number comes from the value 1, 1. Back in the grid, we see that the value in the first row of the first column is 4. That means this number loops this code 4 times. This looped code can be separated into 3 parts. We have tile creation, triangle tile rotation, and tile information. In the tile creation, it says ID is for looper plus 1, which is the number of the tile. For example, the third tile is 3. In the next part, we see X and Y offsets. These two numbers are the X and Y coordinates of the tile, along with their offsets. These offsets exist because not every level will start building the tiles at 0, 0. So we have the offsets to move the level before the player can be loaded. Now there is triangle rotation. This is only for the triangles in the level. The 4 types is for the 4 rotations of the triangle, which is selected from this column, if the tile is a triangle. Here we have the code for tile information and placement. There are 2 main parts in this code, the part for square tiles and the part for triangle tiles. In the square tiles part, we first determine whether this tile is a square. If it is a square, it will run this code, otherwise, it will skip to here. For this tile, it will create a rectangle. These variables are the X and Y coordinates mentioned earlier, and this is the size of the tile. All tiles are 50 by 50 pixels. Now here, The color of the tile is set. Finally, this part detects if there is a 1 in this value. If there is, this part will add collision to the tile. This does the same thing, but for triangles. The time has come to test the builder. Using the same data from part 3, we will test the code. When I push the blue button, the 4 tiles should load. To triangles and 2 squares, 1 of each will have collision. With the test a success, it is time for this episode to close. I hope that you enjoyed. See you in the next one.